If you guys happen to purchase these two, because if you get the Express model, which is the one that I have here, it doesn't come with a backup camera and it doesn't have a touchscreen radio. You get that older style radio, which is called the RA1. And if you upgrade, then you need to know this information before you hook up your backup camera. And my mistake here was that I was only using this harness that came with the aftermarket radio to give power using these two wires, okay, that you guys see here. One is the positive and the other one is the negative. I was using this to supply power to the backup camera. This is the wire that I ran from the back side all the way to the front side here on the dashboard. And this is my video wire that I also ran from the back side where the tailgate is located all the way to the front. And I was using again these two for power coming from this same harness because we also had the video input. Let me show you here briefly. As you guys can see, this is the video input for the backup camera, and this one I wasn't using. Now this is the problem. This one here, even though it's kind of confusing, it says DVR wire transfer, you need this one in order to supply power to the backup camera. It's the one that always provides the 12 volt needed for the backup camera in order to power on. Because this one here, what happens is it only gets activated once you go into settings on the upper side of the radio. You see those apps and you move them to the side, you find where it says camera, then you select back, then that's when the radio is going to activate these two wires to throw energy or electricity. So this is not always activated, and for that reason, when I was placing my truck on reverse, I wasn't getting an image, and it was because of that reason. I had to do it manually, and I found out by using this thing right here. I was trying to see if this thing was always supplying the 12 volts, and it wasn't, and that was my main problem. So you're still gonna need this harness that again comes with these two wires, but don't use these two. You need to use the next harness is the one with the green plastic here, the green connector on the upper side. Then you plug it in here to your Tesla style radio, and you can see here the name of it. Let me see if I can show you better. There we go, DVR transfer wire, and then this is the one that you're going to use to supply power once again. So you have to connect here the white one, which is the B plus 12 volts, and then the other one, which is the black one, is the ground. It says G and D. So you need to figure out which one is the positive and negative on your camera, or the positive and ground, and then you will notice how every time you place it on reverse, the camera is going to come on. Now keep in mind guys that this tutorial is only needed if you're using the aftermarket backup camera, but if you had the factory one, then you don't need to worry about the power cables. All you have to do is install this harness right here. Make sure that you connect the wire here provided by the main harness on the aftermarket radio, which is this one right here. Make sure that you connect the one that says camera to the one that says camera on this harness. And that's all you have to do. But if you're using the aftermarket backup camera, then you need to again provide the power using these wires from this harness with the green plastic, okay? And now you guys can see why I decided to provide this tutorial. This is not mentioned in the manuals. It is not mentioned, not even by their customer support. As a matter of fact, I contacted them via the eBay messages, and they were not able to provide an answer as to why I wasn't getting any image on the backup camera, because I showed them all my connections. They said, well, you are doing everything correctly, and they just couldn't give me an answer until I decided to do my own little homework here, and I was able to figure out the problem. So let's go ahead and assemble everything here, and let me show you that now everything works properly. Alright guys, so finally we got everything hooked up on here, and I am super happy to see that this thing is now working. Here we have the reverse, and you guys can see right there the rear view camera. Everything works perfectly well. And also, in case you guys want to, let's say, turn on the camera without hitting reverse if you're driving or whatever the case may be, all you have to do is go here to this application. It is called Cam. You click on it, and then you're going to select here back camera, and there it is. We can activate it even without hitting reverse, or we can just again use it the normal way, reverse your vehicle, and the camera will come on. Now this tutorial could be helpful even for other branded vehicles. Sometimes you can get ideas that, well, with these little radios you need to sometimes tweak it a little bit and play with the wires until you can get a successful connection.